I made fun of ASMR and the people who watched it for a solid 5 years before accidentally stumbling upon the following clip and experiencing the fabled tingles for myself. So what the heck happened there? And can it happen for you? And do you even want it to? Hello, fellow dabblers. I'm Jess Wagstrom, professional dabbler, and today we are dabbling in ASMR. If you've existed on the internet for the past decade or so, you've probably stumbled upon ASMR in some capacity, even if it's just in like a jokey sort of way. The Try Guys have tried it, the React channel has reacted to it, and James of the Odd Ones Out made this fantastic animated video essay, which up until about 2 years ago, I strongly identified with.
I'm not hating on people who make ASMR videos or even people who like to watch it. And I'm certainly not jealous that some of these people have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of views, and all they're doing is just brushing a microphone for 20 minutes.
Because if we're being honest, if you don't understand what's going on, ASMR looks super weird. I asked my friends on Facebook who don't watch ASMR to give me their impression of what they think ASMR is, and I got a variety of entertaining responses, which I shall read for you now. It's a fancy term for weirdly specific white noise. Fetish ear sound stuff, repetitive sound and visual stimulation, the opposite of misophonia, which is like when you really hate a specific sound. It's like quiet, shushy noises recorded up close, like not louder, just more clear or something. My own personal nightmare? It's a YouTube thing, lots of whispering and sometimes eating food seductively. Videos where people try to make the world sound like it sounds to hungover people in movies. Disgusting noises. Creepy. It's the I'm not touching you of sound, and my favorite, it's like people whispering and crinkling paper and shit. The general consensus seems to be that ASMR is weird videos where people whisper and eat things and make weird noises, and some people just don't get it. So the goal of this video is twofold. Yes. If nothing else, to at least help you understand a little bit better what the hell is going on and make it maybe seem slightly less weird. And number two, to attempt to give you some guidelines to follow if you would like to attempt to get ASMR to give you the tingles. So, let's start at the very beginning. When you read, you begin with ABC. When you try to explain to the internet what ASMR is, you begin with what I'm about to say. What the heck is ASMR? It may or may not surprise you to learn that ASMR is not technically the videos that you watch. ASMR is actually the tingly sensation that you experience from watching the videos. ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory, Meridian Response, which is a made-up term to describe a very real feeling. In a sense, that's what all words are. We've made them all up. So it's like a tingly sensation that begins somewhere on the scalp and then travels down your spine. It just feels really nice and pleasant and relaxing and not at all sexual, unless you're some people on the internet, because it's the internet and somebody somewhere finds everything sexual. But it's not intended to be sexual. I just want to make that point. That's unless it's ASMR erotica, but that's like, it's not the same. Anyway, the actual ASMR sensation is like pleasant goosebumps. And it's important for me to separate ASMR from ASMR videos because there's a chance you may have actually experienced ASMR before in your life and just not realize that's what it was called. So some common things that can trigger ASMR aside from weird internet videos are like that octopus looking metal thing that you put on your head. I personally experience ASMR when someone brushes my hair or gives me a massage or like lightly runs their nails along my skin or fingers. I can't do it to myself, but if someone else does it, it feels nice. If you ever as a kid played the game where you would like write on your friend's back with your finger and you would try to guess what word they were writing, it just felt nice to have the words written on your back. When I was in elementary school, my friend and I used to like pull out a strand of our hair. I know that sounds weird, but like when we were sitting in the reading circle time, our teacher would be reading us Little House on the Prairie. We would each pull out a strand of hair and just like run it along each other's arm for a certain amount of time because it felt nice. And we were 8 years old and we didn't think there was anything weird about it. And do you know what? There's not anything weird about it. We're just a country full of big old prudes. Another non-physical thing that's made me feel ASMR is being at a live event, like a concert or a musical, and hearing one of my favorite songs while there's like a group of people around also there to experience it. I think the last time this happened when we were allowed to go outside was when I saw Cats the musical for the last time before I experienced the movie, which, side note, I did record a review of the movie Cats, but then my life fell apart and I never got it edited, and now I feel like it's too late. But if you still want that, please let me know. I will finish editing it. Anyway, I love Cats, and so sometimes just like sitting in the theater, hearing the overture and watching all the lights flashing causes ASMR tingles, which is fascinating. Those are all examples of ways that I experience the sensation of ASMR without watching any weird videos on the internet at all. And I shared all of them in the hopes that there's something in there that you might recognize as that sensation that you have had. Anyway, the point is so that you'll understand what the ASMR sensation is, so that if you choose to actually watch videos, then I lost my train of thought. So if you do choose to watch ASMR videos, you'll know kind of what you're going for. So the videos themselves are not, as we discussed, technically ASMR. So colloquially, we do just kind of lump it all in, like when we talk about ASMR, we think about the videos. But the ASMR videos are intended to trigger ASMR in you. The intention of it is to feel those tingles, to feel calm and relaxed. Some people don't actually feel the tingles. Like if you went through my discussion of like what causes ASMR for me and absolutely none of it sounded like something that's happened to you in the past, and there's a chance that you just might not experience ASMR, and thus watching the videos might not cause the tingles to happen for you. And that's fine. But if you do experience ASMR, then the goal of the videos is to help you have that feeling. And many ASMR artists, that is the actual word, they make the types of videos that they like to watch. There's a really big variety of videos out there. It does feel a little weird at first to watch these videos, but I promise the more you watch, you start to get used to it, you feel more comfortable with it, and it's less weird. ASMR videos work by providing you a trigger that's intended to elicit an ASMR response. Saying ASMR response is kind of like saying PIN number or ATM machine. A trigger is anything that might create ASMR for a person. And based on the ASMR videos that I have watched, they come in 3 common varieties. There's audio triggers, visual triggers, and emotional triggers. Most people are fairly familiar with audio triggers, as evidenced by my Facebook comments, such as whispering, lip smacking, eating. It's generally thought to be pretty uncomfortable if it's not something you're into, but really that's such a small chunk of the greater ASMR video pie. Do pies have chunks? Small slice on the ASMR pie. Be like the crumbly bits at the bottom of the pan. Beyond those like mouth-induced sounds, there's a huge variety of other audio triggers which you might also be familiar with. Common ones include tapping your fingernails on things, rain, cats purring, keyboard typing, scissors snipping. One of my favorite audio triggers is just people like scratching microphones. It sounds kind of like the ocean. It's a delight. But in addition to audio triggers, there are the other 2 triggers I mentioned. So next are visual triggers. There are videos that are purely visual triggers, like hardly sound-based at all, no talking, just people doing stuff that visually stimulate ASMR. When I first started watching ASMR videos, I was pretty surprised to find out how effective visual triggers are on me, and actually the more I've watched, I've learned that getting ASMR from a video is largely visual for me and audio is secondary. So some common visual triggers are just like hand movements, like someone is petting you through the camera with their hands, or like brushing you with a makeup brush. Some people enjoy seeing people trace words with their fingers. There's a breed of ASMR video where people shine flashlights at the camera for light therapy. There's also like plucking, either with your fingers or with tweezers, and those are triggers that are intended to be visual, but there's also just the general aesthetic of an ASMR video. It might trigger your ASMR more to see someone with like long, beautifully manicured fingers tapping on something, as opposed to someone who, you know, like has real short fingers and looks like they chew on their cuticles a lot, like me. And the last type of trigger is the emotional trigger. And this is honestly kind of a big deal. Emotional triggers are anything that makes you feel calm or taken care of, or kind of triggers some kind of nostalgia for you, just makes you feel peaceful and relaxed, not necessarily by the sound or the visual, but by what's happening in the video. A lot of roleplay ASMR videos fall into this category, and I think that's why they're so popular, because they mimic an experience someone had in their life that makes them feel calm. Or even just the act of someone pretending to take care of you can be really calming and relaxing. Roleplay is one of the largest categories of ASMR videos. There's so many videos out there for every type of scenario that you might enjoy experiencing. But the common thread is just putting you in a situation where you feel pampered or safe. There's a lot of like going to the doctor and them doing a medical exam on you, because some people find that pleasant. There's people doing your makeup. There's boyfriend-girlfriend role plays, which are just meant to be like having the calm experience of talking to your boyfriend or girlfriend about your day. I even found one recently where you are a refrigerator. If that's something you've ever wanted to experience, there's a video for you. Some of it just is weird. Most ASMR videos combine these triggers into one video. The video might be intended to be mostly sound cues, but it's lit very nicely. The person's taken a lot of care with the aesthetics, so there's some visual triggers going on. They might be using beautiful objects to tap on or scratch or what have you. And if they're talking, they're generally whispering in a calming tone, like, hey guys, how are you doing? How's your day? All of those kind of combine into an ASMR creating stew. Yeah. All of that being said, let's go back to that clip I showed you at the beginning of the video and see if we can unpack why that clip in particular triggered ASMR for me after 5 years of just thinking the whole genre was ridiculous, and then see if we can reverse engineer that into a process that might help you find your first ASMR video that triggers ASMR for you. First of all, I was wearing headphones when I stumbled upon this clip. I was editing a video and procrastinating, so I had my headphones in, and I was thinking about the Odd Ones Out video I mentioned at the beginning of this video, where James mentions that
Really? You could type ASMR and then type anything after that and you'll get something.
You think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
I had done that and found the clip, and I was wearing headphones. Wearing headphones surprisingly makes a really big difference. Like, it's intended to be watched wearing headphones because the sounds are very carefully designed. So step one, I was wearing headphones. This is not a step-by-step. This is an explanation of what happened. Number two, there was no whispering in this clip. I did not know up until this point that you could have ASMR without whispering. I thought it was like the thing that made ASMR, but you can literally type in the words "no talking" when you are looking for ASMR and find tons of videos that do not have any whispering whatsoever. When I first stumbled upon that clip, I could not stand the sound of whispering. I did get used to it over time, and now I actually like it and prefer it in my videos. Never thought that would happen, but at first, no talking was such a huge keyword for me. So the fact that this clip had no talking and was just what it was without someone whispering at me was great. Of course, that lasted, 5 seconds, because then the girl starts whispering and I lost my mind and had to pull my headphones out. But before that, It was great. Number 3, the tapping. I'd seen people tapping on things in ASMR videos before, but this was up close, no face, just hands and lovely nails tapping. It sounded soothing, like a gentle rain. I love listening to the rain, so that's probably why the tapping spoke to me. But in addition to that, there's also the visual trigger of like seeing someone tapping. Makes me think of myself being gently tapped, which, as I've previously discussed, I like that sort of sensation on my skin. Seeing the tapping in the video, my brain superimposed it onto me and was like, that would be nice, and tingles happened. But there was a third thing going on in this video that made it work, I think, the most, where other videos had failed. I think it's the thing that totally unlocked ASMR for me, and that is that this girl was tapping on a box of Magic the Gathering cards. When I stumbled upon this clip, I had recently, maybe within the past year, gotten into playing Magic the Gathering because I had just learned to play and I was really amped and excited about it. Seeing the box of Magic cards triggered an emotional response, similar to hearing the overture for Cats and knowing that something I love is about to happen. I knew that the conceit of this video was that she would open a booster box of Magic cards, which is always fun if you don't have to spend money on it. The Magic cards were a strong emotional trigger for me, and that's what I had searched for and plugged in next to ASMR. I was like, I wonder if there's Magic the Gathering ASMR. And then I found that clip and it actually worked. And then I was so mad about it that I posted an angry Facebook post about how irritating it was to identify as a person who mocks ASMR to suddenly have ASMR actually work for me. It was a life-changing identity shift. So anyway, the combination of the lack of whispers, the pretty nails, the tapping, the magic cards, the emotional trigger, the visual triggers, it all created the perfect storm of me no longer being able to put cynical about ASMR on my resume. And then after that initial success, I went down a rabbit hole of just like seeing what else I liked. I discovered that the visuals are a big thing for me, not just the sounds. The sounds can be nice, but the visuals are really what like gets me into a video. I'd much rather watch someone like stroke a beautiful sequined pillow than like their box of cereal. I'd rather watch someone tap and stroke something I love, like a YouTube play button, than just like a bunch of stuff they found in their bathroom. In addition to the videos I've already discussed liking, I found that I also like watching videos of people getting massages and people getting their hair brushed or their scalp scratched and things that I like in real life. I like watching other people experience them so I can sort of, there's a word that I can't think of, vicariously experience it through the video. It's especially helpful now that I can't interact with any human beings in person, especially through touch. So ASMR is kind of like a touch surrogate right now, which is great. And just learning about the existence of no talking videos, as I said before, was revelatory. So if you can't stand whispers, no talking is where it's at. One of the nice things about ASMR videos is they usually put the triggers that are included in the videos right in the title. So if there's something that you know that you like and you know what keywords to search for, you can just plug in a big old string of keywords and find a video. How can you make this experience that I had work for you? Do you want it to? That's a question that you have to answer for yourself. Do you want to try this? If you don't, you don't have to keep watching this video unless you just like my face, which who could blame you? Anyway, if you do want to try it for yourself, I'm going to start by asking you a series of questions. So get out a pen and paper and jot down some notes so that you can collect your answers and take some time with this, like really think about it.
No, I'm serious. This is a serious exercise. It's like an SAT question.
Because it might be the key, the secret, like my magic cards. Question number 1. What are some things that you love? They can be physical objects, or they can be hobbies, or just like something you're really into. Things that you love. Question number 2. What are things that you loved as a child? Question number 3. Have you previously experienced ASMR as I described earlier? And if so, what triggered it? Question 4, what are some sounds that you find calming or soothing? Question 5, what are some experiences that have made you feel calm and relaxed? Question 6, are there any physical sensations that you find pleasant or soothing? Spend some time on those questions because there's a good chance that somewhere in your answers there is a keyword that's going to help you find a good ASMR trigger for you. Another thing you can try is searching for videos that are like 50 triggers in 5 minutes. There's a great deal of these videos out there because it was a challenge a while back where people just like go very quickly through a whole bunch of different triggers. That's actually how I figured out that like face brushing is a thing for me. They don't stay on any one trigger too long, so if one pops up that you really don't like, it won't be there for very long. And that's a good way to like quickly assess if there's anything that works for you that you might not have thought of by answering these questions. Also, wear headphones. If you are triggered by sounds, then hearing them through headphones as the ASMR artist intended will provide you with the strongest effect. Also, most ASMR artists tend to have 2 microphones or specific sound channels set up, so it sounds like the sound is just going all around you and is part of the experience. So that is my guide to getting ASMR to work for you. I hope you found it helpful. I'm going to go ahead and do my sign off for the video, but after I do that, I will show you a variety of triggers, kind of like I mentioned, my own carefully curated, hand-chosen mix of triggers if you would like to test them out. And there's no way that I could possibly cover every trigger that exists. There's just so many and people are coming up with new ones all the time, but I tried to give you a good sampler of common ones. If you do decide to watch through the end of the video and go through these triggers, be warned, you might see or hear some weird things that might make you feel uncomfortable, but I will cycle through the triggers fairly quickly so you won't be on any one trigger for very long. And I'm also going to put them in order, starting with visual triggers with absolutely no talking, and gradually move into like mouth sounds and then whispers and then role play at the end. It's kind of going to go from like least orally offensive to gradually more unpleasant sound heavy if you don't like mouth created sounds. And I will also label what's about to happen, so if you just want to watch a certain chunk and then click off, you can. I will also include keywords you can search for if you like a clip, and in the description of this video I will link the full videos from all of the clips that I took from various talented ASMR artists around YouTube if you would like to check it out. Okay, so that was a lot of info, but I hope that you found it helpful. I hope you found it interesting, even if you decide through all of this that ASMR just isn't for you. I hope you at least have a better understanding of what it is, why people watch it, and maybe it's not as weird. If you do use my tips to experience ASMR for the first time, please tell me. I want to know if it works. I've watched so many videos that are like ASMR for people who don't get tingles, and they're really just ASMR for people who are used to ASMR, but I wanted to give like a primer for people who are just like, the fuck is this? So yeah, I'm really curious if this video helps you. Leave a comment, tell me. I would like to thank my wonderful and beautiful patrons. They got to see this video first. If you are interested in supporting this channel, getting to see videos before I actually post them, you can join my Patreon. There is a link in the description. You will also get your name featured at the end of the video so everyone knows that you're fantastic and wonderful. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've been Jess Wagstrom, professional dabbler. Today we were dabbling in ASMR, but who knows what the next video will be about. I hope you are having a beautiful day, and I will see you the next time I make a video. Goodbye!
Decided to come out today because it is so beautiful and I am getting a lot of vitamin D at the moment, so I can't really complain. One time I was watching Aquila and the Bee. It's a really nice movie, by the way, and Kiki Palmer did a great job in that movie. I think sometimes it's just good to stop and just tune everything out. Автор ее Patrikios называется она Sampo Лопаренок. È finalmente giunta l'ora del video contro il caldo. Ich habe seit langem kein Video auf Deutsch gemacht und manchmal bekomme ich Anfragen, ob ich ein Video auf Deutsch machen kann. Cuddles, 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 cuddles. Chocolate, 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 chocolate. Perfect, 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 perfect. Everything that sensations, and then behind you like that. You know, I love doing your makeup. Of course, you probably knew I was gonna say yes.
What kind of sketch can I get you today? I do two types of sketches. I do like cartoon / anime sketches, but I also do realistic portrait sketches.
You want to make a dating profile? For what? Oh, so you're looking for a man. Okay. How much do you know about finance? You need to stick around, okay? Just in case I'm not insinuating anything. Just saying. You need to hear this. You need to hear that. You need to stay. Okay, I know this could be a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm gonna need you to look straight forward to me. Just like that.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Did you ever handle a baby before? It's your first time.
So we get started, we're gonna focus on our breathing, but we're gonna do things a little bit different. When you breathe in, imagine breathing in warm, golden light.
You know, I recently hosted the most peculiar, fiery-headed fellow. He seemed quite frantic, as though I was plotting something nefarious against him.
The store, was so appealing to me because there's so many toys from my childhood here. Oh, you too? Yeah.
Oh, hi, and welcome to our candle shop. I'm sorry you had to wait. I was melting some beeswax in the back